Hi, this is Garvey Campbell and you are watching Carnival 24. Coming up. Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights are to be honoured during the Crucian Christmas Festival. Disputes in the Cayman Islands over their carnival continue. Trinidad and Tobago are to introduce Calypso music as subjects in schools. And Tourism Minister Dominic Fedee is optimistic despite the recent Thomas Cook collapse. Keep watching, we hope you enjoy this week's show. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and make sure you follow us on our YouTube channels by subscribing to Carnival Network and Carnival 24. And click on the little bell icon to make sure you don't miss any of our shows in future. The Department of Tourism in St. Croix has announced that Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights, a renowned band on the island, will be honoured at this year's Crucian Christmas Festival on its 50th anniversary in the music business. Newly appointed Director of the Division of Festivals, Ian Turnbull, announced that the iconic group will be celebrated at the festival, whose village has been named Stanleyville. This year, one of three major cultural events celebrated annually on St. Croix, St. John and St. Thomas, this year's Crucian festivities will be held on the Big Island between December the 6th and January the 5th. Ian Turnbull went on to say, "It's hard to find another musician or musical group deserving of this honour after working tirelessly to keep our Quob music and Crucian culture alive for more than 5 decades. Mr. Turnbull also confirmed that culinary icon and culture bearer Lena Schulderbrandt will also be honoured during the festival's culture night. Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights play a mixture of the old-time Virgin Islands music, which includes the squash, which is a gourd rasp, the steel triangle, flute and banjo, with the contemporary trappings of electronic keyboard, drum set, conga and electric bass. The theme of this year's Christmas festival will be under the theme What a Sight to See, and it includes music, culture and pageantry. Organisers said that this year's festival schedule is undergoing a revival and will include Calypso, a boat parade, food fair, pageants, reggae and Latin nights, along with the traditional children's and adults parade. In the Cayman Islands, there's still been no resolution between Caymas, Batabano and the Cayman Islands Culture Ministry. The Cayman Islands currently has 3 main carnival organisers that run their carnivals, which are the organisers of the Brac, which takes place on an island called Cayman Brac, and the Batabano Festival and Caymas, which are both held on Grand Cayman. The Culture Ministry has said that it still stands by the goal to have a single, combined adult carnival in Cayman on 9th of May 2020. But organisers behind the Caymas Carnival have said that they will not be joining forces with Batabano and will instead hold their event on Discovery Day weekend, which is May the 14th to May the 18th. Because the government's choice falls on Mother's Day. In a recent press statement, Caymas said that moving the carnival to the weekend picked by government will not be beneficial to the growth of our carnival tourism product, based on our research and discussions with outside potential patrons, as they do not believe that people will take part in the carnival on Mother's Day weekend. They went on to say, Caymas Carnival is not a government entity, nor do we receive major funding from the government to operate, but the government believes that the carnival should be consolidated, and they believe that the most suitable schedule is to hold the junior carnival on the 2nd of May and both adult carnivals on the 2nd weekend in May, leaving the Bracanal on Cayman Brac to take place on Discovery Day weekend without clashing with any events on Grand Cayman. Officials at the ministry said that they appreciated the cultural contributions of all carnival mass bands, but were compelled to maintain support for a combined carnival parade. At this time, it's still not clear whether the government intends to resist Caymas's plans by preventing the road closures if the organisers continue with their aim of holding Carnival on Discovery weekend. Meanwhile, this November, Pirates Week will still be taking place as normal from the 7th to the 11th of November. Trinidad and Tobago's Education Ministry has signed an agreement with the Trinbago Unified Calypsonians organisation for Calypso to be taught in schools as part of the visual and performing arts curriculum. The collaboration came to light during a meeting between Trinidad and Tobago's Education Minister Anthony Garcia and TUCO hierarchy on Friday. In a statement, Minister Anthony Garcia said, "It's incumbent upon us that we ensure that all of our youths are exposed to all aspects of our cultural heritage, notably the steel pan and calypso, which gave birth to so many subgenres that we enjoy today." According to Garcia, inculcating calypso in the school curriculum will help children get a better understanding of poetry and essay writing. According to reports, the art of writing and singing calypsos will be taught from the level of early childhood care and education to primary and secondary schools. Already, a cross-functional team has been formed comprising representatives from the TUCO, the Curriculum Planning and Development Division, Multicultural Music Program Unit, and the Laventille Morvant Schools Improvement Project to design the calypso curriculum. For those unfamiliar with calypso, calypso is an Afro-Caribbean music that originated in Trinidad and Tobago in the mid-19th century. It's linked closely to the annual celebration of the pre-Lenten Carnival, whilst the music and the name's root is still uncertain, and the music gave birth to the soca music that we know and love today. Minister Anthony Garcia closed by saying that people must be aware of their culture, and culture has to be transmitted from one generation to the other. St. Lucian Tourism Minister Dominic Fedee says Thomas Cook's collapse has implications for tourism in St. Lucia. After the predicted reduction of flights to St. Lucia by Virgin Atlantic in June 2020, Thomas Cook was one of the companies that the St. Lucian government had hoped would increase airlift to the island. Dominic Fedee revealed that while in England he'd met with representatives from Thomas Cook, British Airways and Thomson, who had all indicated significant interest in advancing capacity to St. Lucia. At the time, he anticipated between 500 to 750 extra seats coming into St. Lucia on a weekly basis from the UK market, adding that he felt extremely vindicated and justified in the decision made as it relates to subsidies demanded by Virgin Atlantic. As mentioned in our previous Carnival 24 show, Virgin Atlantic had demanded a $20 million subsidy over a 3-year term in order to continue to fly to St. Lucia. Whilst the collapse of Thomas Cook has struck a blow in the plans of St. Lucia's tourism strategy, Fedee has also said, "To be quite frank, I do not sense any anxiety on the part of the private sector, and I believe that that's because the impact of Thomas Cook and the number of passengers they bring to our shores is relatively small." At the time of this report, the minister is awaiting the final outcome of discussions with British Airways and Thomson, hopefully before the end of the year. So, those are our stories for this week's show, and this week's tune of the week is Watch, Learn by Sky from Grenada, and the video was shot in London during Notting Hill Carnival 2019. This is Garvey Campbell, and you have been watching Carnival 24. We'll see you next time.
Hail from the Trinidad Island of Grenada.
I have some questions to ask. You ever been a jump vet? Yes. You ever drink and vomit yet? Yes. You ever been a bouillon vet? Yes. You ever jump until you sweat? Yes. You ever been a juve yet? Yes. What's up the Grenada? Let's vet. Let's go. You have a lot of problems. I can see that. We are going to solve them. Instruction time. Watch and learn how to have fun. Watch and learn how to drink up. Watch and learn how to wind up. Watch and learn how to jump up. Watch and learn how to have fun. Watch and learn how to drink up. Watch and learn how to wind up. Watch and learn how to jump up. You're telling people. Where's my masqueraders? I have some questions to ask. You're telling people. Soca is your culture. I know you the border. We playing us all over. Grenada to London. Mash up front like Saddam. I take the soca serious. I have the soca virus. Nobody don't know me, but all of them will hear me. This is not a movie, so jump up and play with me. I lift the soca upright and shine it like a star bright. When we finish in here, they will wonder who was in here. I'm not here to play mass. I'm not here to play mass. I come to mash up everything. I'm not here to play mass. I'm not here to play mass. I come to destroy everything. Mash up everything. Destroy everything. I'm not here to play mass. I'm not here to play mass. I come to mash up everything. I'm not here to play mass. I'm not here to play mass. I come to destroy everything. Mash up everything. Destroy everything. You ever been a jump vet? Yes. You ever drink and vomit yet? Yes. You ever been a bouillon vet? Yes. You ever jump until you sweat? Yes. You ever been a juve yet? Yes. What up the Grenada? Let's vet. Let's go. You have a lot of problems. I can see that. We are going to solve them. Instruction time. Watch and learn how to have fun. Watch and learn how to drink up. Watch and learn how to wind up. Watch and learn how to jump up. Watch and learn how to have fun. Watch and learn how to drink up. Watch and learn how to wind up. Watch and learn how to jump up. If you don't like soca, what you doing? Yeah, get this soca feeling. Soca is a healing. When the music hits you, just like your girlfriend kiss you. Happy vibes up in here. Happy vibes everywhere. I'm not here to play. I'm not here to play. I come to mash up everything. I'm not here to play. I'm not here to play. I come to destroy everything. Mash up everything. Destroy everything. I'm not here to play. I'm not here to play. I come to mash up everything. I'm not here to play. I'm not here to play. I come to destroy everything.